Well, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Birthday. We'll just roll it all into one. How about that? Hey, we know that it's been a minute since we've been able to update you about life and ministry here in the Dominican Republic, so we wanted to take this opportunity to do that. Now, I will forewarn you, we're sitting in the auditorium, we're on a busy street, so you're likely to hear a lot of traffic and a lot of mufflers that need to be changed in 2025. Hopefully that won't be too much of a distraction for you. It can be part of the ambiance of life and ministry here in San Pedro. Probably the distraction for you is, where is Allison? You expect her to be on here or to pop on the screen. Boy, that would be nice. She adds so much to the video, but she is tied up in a ministry commitment, and so I have to do it today. You know how it is when you're behind on a project and it comes that day that it's got to get out no matter what, and so that is this day, and so I'm doing it. If it wasn't me, it's going to be the dog, and we know that the dog would want to talk about treats and her allotment of those treats, and so we're just like, you know what, I think I'll take it, and so I'll do the best I can to move through this material. If you're like Allie, you can do the 2 and 3 times speed in order to move through it quicker, but got a lot of information to share with you, and hope that you'll just rejoice with us about what God's doing here in the ministry. We're so thankful for your involvement. We couldn't do it without partners that faithfully are behind us and involved in the ministry here. The ways that you encourage us, contacting us, letting us know that you're praying for us, your faithful support, the ways that you get connected to the ministries and what's going on, and helping to meet needs and just being involved. All those things help us do what God has called us to do. And so we're going on 22 years of full-time ministry in San Pedro here, and we just thank you for thank the Lord for the partners that He has brought, so that we can be able to do what we do and concentrate on His calling here. 2024 was a year of transition for us. We moved out to the property, and I think we've finally gotten into a good routine and rhythm on that. Our cars are starting to catch up to that rhythm, I think, and the extra mileage, and so we're thankful for that smooth transition. Another transition was me from senior pastor to more of an associate role. A lot of people have asked, how's Gary doing with this? And I couldn't be more excited, because the church is continuing to grow forward. As I like to say, we're not plateaued, we're not dropping off, we're growing forward, and that warms my heart. I sit out in the auditorium sometimes, I get choked up because I see people that I know a little bit about what's going on in their life, and to see how far they've come, what God's doing in their life, and that they're continuing to worship and grow spiritually and reach out to others, and they're serving the Lord, and to see that the church is going forward, and the fact that I get to still be a part of that's exciting. I'm excited about what Pastor Carlos is doing, how he's leading us, and so it's a tremendous blessing to walk with him in this season of ministry. Basically, for you to know, I'm still doing everything I was doing before. I'm just not preaching every Sunday, and I don't have to be at all the committee meetings. And I don't necessarily miss all that, but I'm still doing, pastoral stuff and discipling, counseling, all that. Allison are still doing our small group Bible study. We had to move it to the church office, and we didn't know how that was going to go, but we've actually had 12, 14, 16 people sometimes on a regular basis. We've got 12, 14, 16 people, and that has been a blessing. That's more people than we had in our home in San Pedro, and we just didn't. We were surprised at that, and so we're very blessed that continues forward. Let me tell you about a little quick story about Alex and Saviella. Alex and Saviella wrote the church from the Facebook page. They said that they saw the ministry. They wanted to come and visit it in person, and so they came early last year. We introduced ourselves, tried to make them feel welcome, invited them to a small group. Come to find out, they're from Havana, Cuba, and they landed, of all places they could land, they landed out beyond Vision Land on a small little property out there, and so they were looking for a church, and so they got connected there. They started coming faithfully. We learned that she is a a choir teacher, and Las Palmas had a need, and so they have hired Saviella. They've recently hired Alex, and so here's a couple. All the places they could land, they land here beyond Vision Land, and now they're part of the church. Now they're part of the school, and they are just they're just a fresh wind, in the ministry, and just to hear their testimony and the opportunities they have of serving the Lord here and openly. Has just been a great blessing to all of us, and they're only, they're in their young 20s, and but they are a blessing to the work. And again, it just shows you that this is bigger than any of us and our plans. I mean, God is putting people here in place, and so in our small group we have Cubans, Venezuelans, Dominicans, of course, and Americans, and in the church we have more nationalities represented, but it's just great to be a part of that. So how am I doing? I'm doing great, because I still get to be a part of this ministry in different ways. And another part that is exciting, look at these seats. Don't those look great? Those were purchased by the church here in the fall in order that we can enhance and expand our seating, because many times the service on Sunday mornings are full, and so we're looking at taking out this classroom in order to get another 40 to 50 seats in that area, and we're excited about that. And so as we continue to grow strong here at the church, we're also wanting to continue to do our outreaches for like the chapel ministries. The one chapel that was started is still going strong. Got a lot of missionary, as well as a lot of, and this is really important, the church participation there, not only giving but also church members helping out there. And so we're really excited about that, and that's something we want to see expand out in the years to come to other areas. Last year I was able to recruit a couple onto the team that they're starting to work 20 minutes over in a town that needs a work, and we're really excited about them. She was an intern with us many years ago, and so that's neat to see that kind of come full circle. And again, we're just excited at the work that continues here at the church, but also the continued expansion. So you can pray about all those things that I've mentioned. It's so exciting to be a part of that. And the Mercy Workshop that Allison leads, they're still reaching women on the street, seeing them come into the program, seeing those women then get connected to the church. We baptized several of them last year, and they're part of the work today, and so part of the church, and so that's exciting. Pray for Allison, as in March she has a mission trip she's taking to Guatemala with her leadership team from Mercy Workshop, and they're going to minister in a rescue ministry connected to Dare for More in Guatemala, and so we're excited about that opportunity. And a neat little side story on that. My second secretary, named Anna, you might remember her, those that have been down here. Anna got married and moved to Georgia, and she has gotten involved, and she is now employed by Dare for More. And so Allison helped disciple her, and so it's just really neat to see Anna serving the Lord in another ministry. And yeah, we miss her here, but we're excited that we prepared her for ministry elsewhere, and now Dare for More and Mercy Workshop is going to work together there in Guatemala in March, and so that's exciting just to see all the connections there. So pray for that. Pray for the Vision Land Villa, the hosting villa out on the property. As you know, we've got the bottom floor almost finished, five bedrooms and a bathroom to be able to host missionary teams and do internal ministry retreats and such. That should be finished in the next few weeks, and I haven't announced it yet, but in the second floor we've got the funding in place. At the end of the year, Lewis Memorial Baptist Church, my home church, and our sending church, they have invested a lot over the years into the ministry, different ways. They've invested a lot in that villa already, but Pastor Lemon contacted me and said, let's get this thing done, and so he spearheaded an effort to raise over $40,000, and so that came in at the end of the year. So we're so excited that in the spring we'll be able to get to work on that, and probably by the end of the summer we should have both floors finished and fully operational for groups. One thing on that we'd ask you to pray for, if you're still with me, you haven't fast forwarded past this, hopefully, we have to buy a generator, because the electricity is just not very consistent out there, and when you have a group staying in, you got to keep those air conditionings running. You can appreciate that, I'm sure. we have a matching grant. It's going to cost about $12,000 to $15,000 to buy one and get it all set up, everything we have to do, the size of generator we got to get. But we have a matching grant already in place for $6,000. So anything that's given us up to $6,000 is going to be doubled. So if you would just pray about that we can get that generator. That way we can get the villa completely finished, get the generator there, and then fully be able to use it. That would be a blessing. What's down the road past that? Well, there are lots of things that's got to be done, and they're not all about the villa. But the next thing as it relates to the villa that's going to be big is, we've got the swimming pool staked. We are looking for a swimming pool expert. If you know of somebody that would be willing to maybe oversee this project, maybe even come down when we need to pour the concrete and all that and make sure it's done right, we would love to talk to you about that. This pool is going to be a fairly large pool. It's going to be 70 by 30, 35, something like that. And, it's going to be big enough for our groups to be able to do, again, small retreats, camps, do it for missionaries, for, all kinds of different occasions and things out there. And another thing we'll be able to do is do swimming lessons. It'll surprise you how many people that live on, we live on an island and on the coast, but a lot of people don't know how to swim. And we actually, many years ago, we had a family lose somebody to a drowning, off the coast here. Very sad story. And, to be able to offer swimming lessons is something that is also another ministry contact point. So, just be praying for us. We're going to need a lot of funding for that, down the road. But, in God's timing, we're thankful for what He has provided, and we're just continuing to, trust Him to continue to expand out, as we can. A couple of other things you can pray with us about quickly. I know we're running short on time here. Pray for me and Allie as we're doing our continued studies. I'm working on a dissertation in my doctorate of ministry. She's working on her MDiv, and we both hope to finish this year with those things. Allison wants to continue on to a doctorate of, and doctorate in redemptive ministry. For us, it's not about the letters and the degrees and all that. It is about us continuing to grow and stretch our capacities so that we can be more effective leaders in our respective areas. And so pray with us about that. That's a little bit of an expensive undertaking, and we're trying to work our way through that. Also, our personal support. We've lost a couple supporters that have graduated to heaven. We're thankful that they're, this is the surety of heaven, but it's affected our support. And so, as the Lord allows, would you just pray that we will have new partners, or maybe churches would give a little bit of bump up. Inflation has hit all around the world, and Allie and I, when we're in the States, we're almost always representing the ministry and trying to raise money for the ministry. We just don't take out to represent ourselves most of the time. And so just pray with us that we be able to increase our support a little bit for the increased travel we have. We have older vehicles. They're breaking down a lot more, getting those repaired, the studies, just all those things. It's all in the, hey, look, we're 22 years into this full time. God is faithful. He provides. We manage what He allows us to have. And so in no way am I complaining. I hate to even bring it up. But I had a supporter that say, hey, you need to let people know. They want to know, and they want to be able to pray for you. So, okay, here it is. Pray for us on that. Beyond that, support for Mercy Workshop on a monthly basis, and support for DR Vision are a couple of other areas that we need. You're trying to make everything sustainable as possible from the ground, but as you continue to build and you want to be operationally sustainable, but as you continue to grow out and the infrastructure that you set in place, you got to have some funding. And so we could use some DR Vision support on a monthly basis. Mercy Workshop could use some support on a monthly basis in order to continue to grow out. So pray for those areas of funding. Pray for our health and just wisdom to continue to lead our respective areas of ministry. And for me, for the overall ministry, we could not be more excited about what God is doing, and just to be a part of this and see it continue to grow. We serve with a great missionary team that's around us, and this surely is not, it is not about us and all about us. And we're just a part of a bigger thing that God's doing. And so you're a part of that as our partners. And so we thank you so much for that. So next time, I don't know how many people have made it to the end. If you did, you should let us know, and we should give you an award. But It doesn't count if you fast forward it to the very end. But the next video, I'll make sure that Allison is with me. We'll also try to keep it a little bit shorter because we won't wait as long to update you with us. But thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to talking to you next time. God bless.